sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, are you listening to me? I said, young man, what do you wanna be? I said, young man, you can make real your dreams, but you got to know this one thing. No man does it all by himself. I said, young man, put your pride on the shelf and just go there to the YMCA. I'm sure they can help you today. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, I was once in your shoes. I said I was down and out with the blues. I felt no man cared if I were alive. I felt the whole world was so tired. That's when someone came up to me and said, young man, take a walk up the street. It's a place there called the YMCA. They can start you back on your way. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, are you listening to me? Young man, what do you wanna be? YMCA. You'll find it at the YMCA. No man, does it all by himself. Young man, put your pride on the shelf. YMCA. And just go to the YMCA. Young man, I was once in your shoes. Young man, I was down with the blues.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Oh, what a crowd this is. That's a big, beautiful. We flew over. I said, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. As far as the eye can see. I hope you can see back there. It's a long way back. I want to thank everybody and hello to North Carolina. And I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with thousands of hardworking, God-fearing American patriots. Amazing, amazing people. We have a little thing called an election coming up, but we're going to win this election. You know, I don't know if you've seen the polls, but they're very good. We'll be going over that in just a minute, but we're doing really well, and I appreciate it. And we've won this state every election. The primaries we've won the general elections. And we got one more left before we make America great again. Have to do it again. We have to do it again, because they really loused things up in 4 years, didn't they? Didn't they just, what they've done. Exactly 45 days from now, we're going to win North Carolina. We're going to defeat Kamala Harris. And we're going to make America great again. We're going to make it great again. When you cast your ballot for Trump this November, thank you very much. That's the best seat in the house. I always said it. You know, they can't see me too well, but oftentimes they're picked to be movie stars. They're so beautiful. All of the fake news up there, you know, you think you have the best seat. See, you think you have the best seat. Actually, they do, because what happens is Hollywood is watching, and every once in a while they see a face. They see this beautiful face, and they don't see your face. They only see the back of your head. Would anybody like to change seats? Would you rather change? I didn't think so. I didn't think so. When you cast your ballot for Trump this November, it means that America's borders will be instantly secured. Can you believe what they've done? What they have done to our country with millions and millions of people walking right through our border. It means the price of household goods will start to plummet. Groceries and rent will no longer break your budgets. And you will have thousands of dollars of savings by the end of the year. Let me just tell you, we're going to get your energy costs down in 1 year. We're going to get your energy costs down by 50%. We'll cut it in half. We're going to cut it in half. It means young people will once again be able to afford a mortgage and a home. Thank you very much. Uncle Sam. Look, Uncle Sam is here. I love Uncle Sam. I love Uncle Sam. Look at him. It means the streets of your cities will be safe and clean. The homeless encampments will be gone. They're going to be gone. Oh, you have to see. You have to see some of these encampments, what they've done to our cities. And we've got to take care of the people, but they're destroying our cities. And instead of a planet on the edge of global war, we will have world peace. We won't have World War III, which we're very close to having right now. That's the future that awaits the America that we love under President Donald J. Trump. But if you cast your vote for Kamala Harris, Comrade Harris, we call her Comrade, you're voting for 4 more years of brutal job losses, higher taxes, surging prices, falling wages, and economic depression and despair. Other than that, you'll be doing quite well, I think, actually. A vote for Kamala Harris means 40 or 50 million more illegal aliens will invade across our borders, stealing your money, stealing your jobs, stealing your life. It means your police forces will be gutted, your guns will be confiscated, and savage criminals will run wild in the streets. So that's what it means. You know what? That's what it means. You know, she's always said, we will confiscate all guns. Now she's saying, oh, no, I think they're wonderful, right? Doesn't work that way. They're going to confiscate your guns. I'm the one that's protecting it. We got the total endorsement of every gun group, including the NRA, and we have protected your Second Amendment. And if you think it was easy, it was not easy. If Kamala Harris is reelected, she will kill the American dream forever. She's not competent to be president either, but I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude. She's not competent to be president. Did you see her on Oprah? That's not going to be president. Oprah didn't know what the hell to do. Oprah was like embarrassed. She wanted to hide under the table, but she's a professional and she was able to sort of disguise it. No, she wanted to go right under the table. Vote Trump and we will bring back the American dream bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Kamala can't be trusted with your economy or anything else. She's just, how this happened. Explain it to me, please. How did this happen? And we all saw what happened, and we see what happened. Kamala was a total disaster yesterday, and at every other interview, she's been just a free fall. I don't know what the hell's going on. She can't do an interview. She doesn't want to do them. Something's wrong. Let's just take a look. Let me just see. We have a little video. You know, we spend all the money on these screens. We want to use them a little bit. Let's play it just for a second. Thank you.
The Kamala word of the day is clearly story.
It is your story and the story of our friends before you is really, that's the American story, right? In telling your story and being so strong in the way you do it. And both of these stories, for you to tell these stories, this story is a story that is sadly not the only story.
It's unbelievable. It's simply unbelievable. It's like a child who learns one word and then they struggle for the next thought and it never comes. But maybe this daytime talk candidacy will work. It's all emotion, but not a very good one. Certainly not an articulate one, Laura.
And being a bitch. Turn that off.
That's not what you want. That's not what you want. Kamala and her group have seen what's happening to their campaign, and it's not going well for them. And they would like, just announced a little while ago as I was coming off the plane, they would like to do another debate. Although, good entertainment value. A lot of people say, oh, do it, it's great entertainment. I've already done 2. One with Crooked Joe Biden at CNN, and the other one with Kamala on ABC. CNN was very fair, I thought. Joe was driven out of the race. It was a coup, by the way, but he was driven out of the race. And they've been widely criticized by the radical left lunatics for all of the fairness. They were very fair. In other words, they won't be fair again because they took a lot of abuse from the radical left. ABC was 3-on-1, but I was given credit for having done a very, very good job. I appreciate that. We did a great job. It was 3-on-1. The problem with another debate is that it's just too late. Voting has already started. She's had her chance to do it with Fox. You know, Fox invited us on, and I waited, and they turned it down. But now she wants to do a debate right before the election with CNN because she's losing badly. You know, it's like a fighter. She sees the pulse. She sees what's happening. She's losing badly, but it's like a fighter who goes into the ring and gets knocked out. The first thing he says is, I want a rematch. I want a rematch. And I won all of the primaries. Remember, she won none. She went into no primary. She got no votes. Biden, in all fairness, I'm no fan, but in all fairness to him, he got 14 million votes. She got none. She's done one debate. I've done two. It's too late to do another. I'd love to in many ways, but it's too late. The voting is cast. The voters are out there immediately. Is everybody voting? Please get out and vote. I would rather see one-day voting, paper ballots, voter ID, and proof of citizenship, and we have a nice, honest election. We have one state, you go forever. I mean, it's like for 2.5 months, and then they have the right to delay the count for weeks and weeks. The whole thing is crazy. We're going to get it changed. We got to get in. When we get in, we're going to get this craziness changed. Everyone knows that Kamala Harris cannot explain how she would make your life better because it's really her policies that have destroyed this country in the last 3 years. She was the border czar. Now she says she wasn't the border czar. It doesn't matter. She was in charge of the border, put there by sleepy Joe Biden. He wanted to go to the beach. She said, I don't have time. I got to go to the beach and sleep. Who the hell sleeps on camera? You have cameras watching. I don't want to ever fall asleep on live television. Kamala Harris cost your family $28,000 in higher prices. Last month alone, she lost, think of this, last month they lost, in this country, 438,000 full-time jobs. That's a government number, including 24,000 manufacturing jobs. That's last month. And the interest rates are lowered for political reasons, but they're also lowered because the country is not doing well. We would rather have you as president. Think of this. If you would rather have me as president or, okay, let's do this. Let's do a poll. You ready? Who wants Trump as president? I'm shocked. Is there anyone brave enough to raise your hand? Who wants Kamala as president? I'm looking for one brave soul. That would be very brave. Who would you rather have as your president? Radical liberal Kamala Harris, who created the worst economy in your life? That's the worst economy that we've ever had under them. Or the businessman who created the greatest economy in the history of our country and in the history of the world. We created the greatest. Kamala Harris is promising war on American energy. Oh, she's after energy. Oh, she's after it. You know what they did? She came in, they closed up all of the energy. The prices started going crazy. So Biden started screaming, get back to what Trump was doing. But as soon, if they won this election, the day after they win, your energy prices are going to double and triple. You know that. The largest tax hikes on families in American history is what they say. The largest small business tax hikes in American history and the most crippling regulations in American history. All of this is shutting down power plants and banning gasoline-powered cars and trucks. Would anybody like to drive, on occasion, a beautiful gasoline-driven car? We want a gasoline-powered. Now, they do have a new one, hydrogen. The problem is it tends to blow up every once in a while, and you go many, many blocks in the air. You say, what happened with... So that's a little bit early. But we want new technology. We want hybrids. We want a lot of things. Under the Trump economic plan, we will cut your energy prices in half within mark it down, and you can get very angry at me if we don't do it. Within 12 months, your energy prices will be cut in half. We have more liquid gold under our feet than anybody else. And we will rapidly defeat inflation. So inflation is a misnomer because the inflation's now getting stabilized because our country is doing badly. But the prices have been driven up here and people can't afford the groceries. I told the story the other day, a woman, sort of elderly woman who was sad, goes up to the counter, register, puts 3 apples on and then realizes she can't afford it. And she took 1 apple, brought it back into the refrigeration, came back and she took 2 apples. That shouldn't be happening in this country. That shouldn't be happening. And by slashing inflation, we will cut interest rates and reduce the monthly cost of your typical mortgage by $1,000. $1,000 a month. Listen, so interest rates with me were at 2%. Interest rates with her and Joe, I got to add him. I don't know. Is he still the president? I'm trying to figure it out. You know, I hate to waste the time by saying and him, because I don't know. Is he the president? Because yesterday his wife took over the cabinet meeting, right? Said, I'm going to ask my wife to take it. He hasn't had a cabinet meeting like in 2 years. And yesterday they finally had it. And he said, I'm going to let Jill handle it. We will a lot of things are happening there. A lot of bad things are happening. We will massively cut taxes for workers. We will have no tax on tips. We will have no tax on overtime. And no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors. No tax. And it makes sense because the seniors have been hurt so badly with inflation. So we're going to have no tax on Social Security for our seniors. And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on interest rates on credit card debt at 10%. Some people are paying 25 and 30%. It's crazy. You know, in theory, that's against the law. Okay, called the usury laws. But in theory, that's against. So we're going to cap it for a period of time at 10%. This election is about the economy. This election is about the border. That's what it is. And I am your border president. Your border president. Kamala would be your invasion president. She would be your country-destroying president. But remember this, look, on the border. In 2016, we had a bad border. I fixed it. And it was so good that I couldn't mention it in 2020, even though, excuse me, I might say, we got millions more votes in 2020 than we did in 2016, right? Some bad crap happened. Some bad things happened. We got millions and millions of more votes. So what a disgrace. Think of our country, if I were president. You wouldn't have Ukraine, Russia. That wouldn't happen. You wouldn't have any inflation. You wouldn't have had the attack on Israel. And you wouldn't have had the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And that's the way they withdrew from Afghanistan. None of this would have happened. And a lot of other good things. We would be energy independent. We were already energy independent. We were going to be energy dominant by now. More than Russia, more than anything. We have more than Russia. We have more than Saudi Arabia, more oil. We have more than anybody. I call it liquid gold. We have more liquid gold under our feet. And what do? We go to Venezuela to get oil, to get tar. They sell us tar that we refine in our country. In Houston, Texas, not a pretty sight. As border czar, Kamala Harris has allowed 21 million illegals to pour in from all over the world. They're coming from the prisons and the jails. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're terrorists, and she's letting, literally at record levels, terrorists are pouring into our country. Did you see the chart? 4 years ago, we had 11 terrorists come in, and we got them, everyone. Now we have thousands of terrorists in our country, and the worst terrorists from the worst countries. Here in North Carolina, migrant crime is totally out of control, encouraged by sanctuary jurisdictions, sanctuary cities all across your state. In July, an illegal alien who border czar Harris released him, special order, into our country was arrested for stalking a woman into a public bathroom in Charlotte and attempting to rape her and ultimately rape her and hurt her very badly. Here in Wilmington last month, an illegal alien from Venezuela brutally stabbed a man to death. This murder came just 4 days after he was arrested for horrible domestic violence. But instead of being deported, this criminal alien was released to kill again. Kill again he did. And in June, a fugitive illegal alien criminal from Honduras was arrested after savagely murdering a 23-year-old in the sanctuary jurisdiction of Mecklenburg. Anybody come from Mecklenburg County? You read about it. That was a big one. That was a bad one. Nasty, nasty. Today, I'm announcing a new plan to end all sanctuary cities in North Carolina and all across our country. No more sanctuary cities. Uncle Sam, do you agree? Uncle Sam agrees. I had a feeling you would, right? You're great. As soon as I take office, we will immediately surge federal law enforcement to every city that is failing, which is a lot of them, to turn over criminal aliens, and we will hunt down, capture every single gang member, drug dealer, rapist, murderer, and migrant criminal that is being illegally harbored. Every one of the top 25 worst cities are Democrat-run cities. We will get them out of North Carolina and we will send them home where they belong. I will ask Congress to pass a law outlawing sanctuary cities nationwide, and we will bring down the full weight of the federal government on any jurisdiction that refuses to cooperate with ICE and these are great patriots, ICE and Border Patrol and our great Border Patrol. They're not allowed to do their job. They want to do their job, they're not allowed. Within 2 years, there will not be one single foreign criminal gang operated in North Carolina or anywhere else. You have a lot of gangs. Hate to say it, you have a lot of gangs in this state. Are there any gang members in the audience, please? Would you please raise your hand? So that's the choice. Kamala Harris will fly criminal migrants into every one of your cities and towns. Did you see that? They say, well, we've decided to get tough on crime. You know, like 2 weeks ago, because they want to try and get some votes because they're not doing so good. This issue is not a good one for them. But did you see? And then we learned that they're flying them in beautiful, big, fat, beautiful Boeing aircraft, just like that one, with more seats, actually. I have fewer seats in mine than they do. But they fly them in with beautiful aircraft. They fly them all over the country by the hundreds of thousands. They're flying in over the border. So they don't want to stop them because they're continuing the flights into our country. I will get every migrant criminal out of our country, and I'll get them out fast. We have to. We have no choice. And they're taking over our country. You see what they're doing. Kamala Harris's border invasion is also crushing the jobs and wages of African-American workers and Hispanic-American workers, and also union members. Unions are next. You watch. They are working and hurting what's going on with African-American workers and with Hispanic in particular. They're taking your jobs. They're taking your jobs. Every job produced in this country over the last 2 years has gone to illegal aliens. Every job. Think of it. What we're doing to this country is so sad. You know, I stand up here. Thank you. Thank you. You're right about that. We'll save you. We're going to save you. We're going to save you. We're going to save you. Yeah, we're going to save you. But it is sad. Young guy, I don't know where the hell he is. There are a lot of people out here. But when he screams, you've got to save us, President Trump, that we need a scream like that you would think in this country that you even need something like that. It's very sad. But we're going to save you. We will. We did it once. We're going to do it again. And we're going to do it at even a higher level. An even higher level. That's one of the big reasons why I just won the overwhelming endorsement of the rank and file membership of the Teamsters. They voted for Trump. They voted for Trump. Last month, American-born workers lost, think of this, 1.3 million jobs. So American voters and their voters, American workers lost 1.3 million jobs. Meanwhile, the migrants picked up 635,000 jobs, plus another 700,000 or 800,000 jobs at least that we know of. But the Americans lost jobs. What a disgrace. I don't even, you read some of this and you hear the facts. You find it hard to believe it could be happening, actually, because, the Republican Party has become a party of common sense. I call it the party of common sense. We're conservative. We're all of the same, but it's become a party. Where is the common sense? In open borders and high taxes and the job numbers that I just read to you. Even Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said this week, quote, "The influx across the borders has been one of the things that has allowed unemployment to rise, and rise substantially. To save your jobs, you must vote for Trump." Very simple. Very simple. So in the latest Rasmussen poll just out, thank you. Remember, I used to talk about the polls, right? I used to talk about the polls, and I forgot about it because I won the primaries by so much I didn't have to talk about them. But in the latest Rasmussen poll, you know what happened with Joe? We beat him by, I think, 21 points, and they said, you got to get out, you can't win, and he got out. So now I got a second race. This never happened. I went, think of it, spent $100 million on beating Joe, and we beat him, and he couldn't win, and they went to him, and they said, you can't win, you're out. You're not supposed to say that to a president, but they said, Joe, you're out. Get out of here, Joe. And they took it over. He got 14 million votes, and she got none. And then they never thought she was going to get it, but it turned out that she got it because they wanted to be politically correct. She didn't get one vote. She didn't win one primary. She was the first one that quit the race when they had 22 candidates, where Biden won it. But in the latest Rasmussen poll against her, just came out, we're 8 points up. In the New York Times, Sienna Paul, can you believe New York Times? They can't be happy. We're 9 points up in the Midwest alone. In the Emerson poll, highly respected, we're 3 up in Georgia and leading Arizona by a lot, Wisconsin by a lot, and I think we're really doing well in Pennsylvania. That's what the word is. But remember, don't get too carried away. They cheat. That's what they do. They cheat. Too big to rig. We got to get out there. Everybody's got to vote. And in the American Greatness poll, we're beating Kamala by 3 here in a place called North Carolina. And one that's very exciting, a poll just came out where we're actually leading in the state of Virginia, which no Republican has won in a long time. But take nothing for granted. You have to get out and vote. You just have to get out and vote. We cannot accept it. What they do is, it's the only thing they do well. They cheat. Their policies are no good. Their government is no good. Their management is no good. But they cheat like nobody can cheat. We're pleased to be joined today by a senator that I'm very proud of, actually. He ran and won and beat somebody who was tough. And I recommended before that Laura run for that office, but Laura said, I have a beautiful family, a husband, and 2 the most beautiful kids. You're going to meet one of them in a minute. Because we happen to name her Carolina. So she said, Dad, and we have a great gentleman named Ted Budd, a congressman, and he's fantastic. And so I said, Ted, you want to do it? I'm going to give you my endorsement. And I gave him the endorsement, and he has been a great senator. Ted Budd. Ted. Hi, Ted. He's done a fantastic job. Also, I was early with him, too. Dan Bishop, who is fantastic. Dan, you're looking good. You're looking good. Thank you, Dan. He's great. He's a warrior. David Rouser. David, we love David. And Anna Paulina Luna. I want to say it perfectly. Anna. She's so popular in Florida. I don't know. What's your next move? Stay, just relax. But what's your next move? She is so popular, and she's a warrior. They're all warriors, that whole group. North Carolina Republican Party chairman. He's been incredible. Jason Simmons. You know Jason? Thank you, Jason. How are we doing? Are we okay? Okay, we got to be okay. We got to win. This is a very important state. We win this state, I think it's going to be over fast. And we've only won it. We've won it every time. So we're 5-0, including primaries. RNC chairman. So he was so good. And you know what he was good on? Stopping the cheating. Because when other places were winning, we're going to win 10 o'clock in the evening. Then at 3:02, a lot of ballots came in. But they didn't come in here. He had 603 lawyers, and he was tough as hell. And I said, that's the guy I want to run the RNC with Laura. They're doing an unbelievable job. And by the way, Laura's here. Would you stand up? Laura and Eric. Laura and Eric. I call it a super couple. That's a super couple. Thank you, and you're doing a great job, Laura. And he's doing a great job. He's the most subpoenaed human being in the history of the United States. Every day he gets a subpoena from Congress, from a crooked DA, a crooked AG, Democrat areas only, but man, he's tough as hell. He was such a nice young man just a little while ago. Now he's become like a hardened, tough. I said, is that my beautiful Eric? But it is, and he's still beautiful, and he's smart, and he is tough, and he's handled it so well. Eric, stand up separately, come on. He is the most subpoenaed man in the history of our country. He got more subpoenas than the late, great Al Capone. Al Capone is like a baby compared to Eric. Thanks, Eric. Good. Great job, honey. Great job. And Robeson County Commissioner Michael, where's Michael Watley, by the way? Where are you? Where are you? Stand up. We're counting on this guy. I didn't take him from any other state. I took him right from here. He was your party chairman. And it's true, though. You see about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and then 3:02, you see these states that were easy wins. They sort of fell off because of COVID and lots of problems. But bottom line, they cheated and they fell off. But you know a place that didn't fall off? North Carolina. And it was headed up by that man. So, Michael, you better win or you're never going to be able to come back here. If he doesn't win, he won't be at RNC and he will no longer be in North Carolina. He'll be looking for a job. I think he's going to win, and that's what he's focused. I said, you know, we don't need votes. What we need is honesty in the election. If we have honesty, we have all the votes we need. And by the way, before I forget, I don't want to forget, you have about 30 of the most incredible women that follow me all over the place, and they're from North Carolina. Unbelievable. They follow me all over the country. They're from North Carolina. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice to finally be here? You don't have to travel to California, Texas. They travel all over the place. They're great. They're great, and we love them, and they're beautiful. I don't get the husbands. They're all happily married, right? I don't quite get it. And here's another one. Look at that. They didn't want to sit with you. They wanted a better location. That's the boss. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. And we also have front row Joes. They're all over the place. They stand online for 2-3 days because they want to get that front row. Thank you very much. And they've seen plenty, and they were there, unfortunately, in Butler. That was a hell of a day. Sitting right where we're sitting right now, that was a hell of a day. That was something. Never let that happen. And also, Robeson County Commissioner and member of the Lumbee tribe, a friend of mine and a friend of ours, John Cummings. Where's John? Thank you, John. John is a real supporter. We appreciate it very much. And we're going to make sure that you guys are okay because they have not been treated properly by this administration, as we know. Thank you. You can tell everybody. The Lumbee tribe has been wrongfully denied federal recognition for more than a century. Only a century? That's not that long. Century? It's 100 years. That's not that long. But no, we're going to take care of it. We'll take care of it right at the beginning. All right? You can tell them. Biden and Obama promised remedy that they want to remedy the injustice, but they never did it. They broke their promise, and today I'm officially announcing that if I am elected in November, I will sign legislation granting the great Lumbee tribe the federal recognition that it deserves. Okay? You'll be all set. Say hello to, and I got to know them. They're great, but unfortunately, we weren't in office when that happened, but they treated him very badly. Thank you very much, John. We also have, and I alluded to it, a very important member of my family, far more important than Eric or Laura. And her name is Carolina. And she's beautiful, and she's sweet, and she doesn't know how evil life is. She hasn't experienced it yet, but she does know how great life is. And we want to make life great for everybody here, and we're going to do that. Can I ask Carolina to come up? Is that possible? Carolina. She sat on my lap during the Republican convention.
Make American great again.
That was great, honey. Wow. Thank you, sir. What a good job. I can see the new senator when Ted someday, he's going to say, sir, I've had it. I can't do it any longer. He's going to resign or leave, and we're going to have Carolina get in there and run. Anyway, would anybody like to meet Luke, her brother? Luke, come on up.
Vote for Grandpa.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, honey. Great job. So cute. Oh, he doesn't want to get off the stage. Oh, wow. Look at that. He's got the gene. Thank you. Thank you, Luke. You know, I said, say MAGA. I whispered into his ear, so cute. I said, say MAGA. He said, vote for Grandpa. He didn't care what I said. And that was actually much better, right? That was much better. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Carolina. Thank you, honey. What great kids, great people. That's a whole family is a wonderful family. Thank you. Thank you very much. And they're really helping. And Laura's all over the state. As you know, Laura grew up here, and she loves the state, and she spends more time here than any place else, and she really loves the state, and so do we. It's been a very special experience. Thank you. Thank you, Laura, for the help, too. Appreciate it. We are 7 weeks away from the most important election in the history of our country, and Kamala Harris is the most radical left nominee ever to seek the presidency by far. The problem with her is nobody knew who the hell she was. When you say, oh, Harris is running, nobody knows the last name. I could say it today. If I just told Harris is running, you'd say, who the hell is Harris, right? Look at the people up front. They're friends of mine. They're tough, smart, rich people, actually, very good. They've made a lot of money in this state. But when I say Harris, they say, who the hell is Harris? We have no, they know Kamala, but they don't know Harris. They know Comrade. They also know Comrade. And that's what she is. She's a comrade. But Harris is running, and she wants to open your borders. I'll tell you what, 21 million people, and that's really not including gotaways, came into this country, and they came in from a lot of bad places. Do you know that crime all over the world is down? In Venezuela, it's down 72% because they've taken their criminals and they've dumped them into the United States. It's down 70, and nothing good is going to happen with that. But all over the world, not just South America, crime is way down, way down. And what a shame that is, right? What a shame that is. And you see how bad it's getting when you look at what's going on with the migrants attacking villages and cities all throughout the Midwest in particular right now, but it's all over. but she's going to deliver rampant inflation, and she wants to pack the Supreme Court, our great Supreme Court. Instead of 9 justices, Kamala wants to bring it up. The other day, for the first time, I heard a number. It's got to be an odd number. They didn't like the number 13, so instead of going to 15, they went to 25. I understand they want 25. So they want to pack our courts immediately, and we can't ever let them do that. And we're going to stop them, and we have to stop them at the presidency. Ideally, we're going to do well, Ted, with the Senate, but we have to stop them with the presidency. We have to stop them. Ideally, you have some great congressmen and congresspeople running. We have to stop them there. So 25 justices is what she's looking for. That's the real number, so she can rig the system. She was an original creator of defund the police movement, just so you know. She's been there for 15 years. If you're there for 1 week, you cannot vote for her for president, okay? Anybody that once even had a thought of defunding our great police law enforcement can no longer serve or even be thought of to be president. And I met a lot of the officers backstage. Are incredible, the job they do, and we appreciate it. She wants to defund the police. She wanted to do it in Minneapolis. That's why she picked this character, this weird guy. You know, he said weird. JD and I are not weird. We got a lot of problems, but we're not weird. He is a weird dude, isn't he, though? So she got to meet him. He's a radical left lunatic. During the burning of Minnesota, they burned the whole state. Minneapolis was like a fire pit. And I saw a CNN announcer saying, well, this has been a friendly gathering. And behind him, the entire city was burning down. Nobody's ever seen it. It looked like World War II. No, we're not going to do it. And we're going to stop World War III, by the way. We're going to stop it. We're going to stop it cold. Kamala Harris vowed to abolish ICE under border czar Harris. Venezuelan gangs have taken over entire apartment buildings in Aurora, Colorado. The governor is petrified in Colorado. He's a liberal governor. He doesn't know what to do. The guy is so scared of these guys, and maybe you can't blame him. They have military-style weapons, AK-47 Supremes. They've got stuff that's unbelievable. They're young, they're tough, nasty people, and they got a lot of them. They came in from Venezuela in that case, in Aurora's case, and you have a great sheriff in town, but the sheriff is looking at this, he's saying, wow, that's a lot of firepower. They're in the real estate business. They're taking over buildings, okay? They're doing it the old-fashioned way. She supports free health care for illegal aliens while our hospitals and emergency rooms are being overrun by migrants. If you want to go to a hospital because you have an emergency and you paid taxes in North Carolina for 40 years, you won't be able to get in. And some places you don't even have a chance of getting in. You know that. You don't even have a chance. She wants mass amnesty and citizenship for all illegals. And she says that she must, anybody that utters the word, think of this, the words illegal alien, radical Islamic terrorist. She said, don't you ever use those terms. But here's the worst. Think of this. She lost 325,000 migrant children. They're gone. They're gone. Many are dead. Many are just kidnapped. Many are working in slavery. 325,000. That's filling up. Pick a nice stadium. Let's go to New York. Pick Yankee Stadium, right? It holds 55,000. Think of that. You could fill it up so many times. You could fill it up. It would never end. 325,000 young children are missing. Many are dead. And that's under their watch. It's the most cruel thing. And the press, the fake news right there, they won't talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about any of the bad things. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, that's a term, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person, and also other names that are too bad to name. I'm not going to name them. Because these young children are here, we don't want to name them, as nonviolent crimes. She said they're nonviolent crimes. Think of that. Rape of an unconscious woman. She vowed repeatedly to ban fracking. She imposed natural gas export. Think of that. She banned natural gas exports where we would have made a fortune. Everybody wanted our oil and gas. She banned it, and it's crushing Pennsylvania. She praised the idea of 70 to 80% tax rates, and she pledged to abolish private health care. People in this audience, some have private health care. They want to pay a little bit more, and they want to have great health care and force everyone onto socialist government-run health care with high taxes and deadly wait times. People are waiting online at these places for 4 months for the most routine examination. She wants to ban the sale of gas-powered vehicles. She's already banned them, which will destroy North Carolina's way of life. And she even endorsed free sex changes for illegal aliens. We're going to do operations. I mean, it's not even believable. And she's running. She's running. Think of it. Sex change for people that are in prisons and detention centers if they ask for it. And she wants it. Check it out, because it's not even believable, but it's true. As DA and as Attorney General, she destroyed the great city of San Francisco, one of the greatest cities in our country just 15 years ago. And she destroyed the state of California. People are leaving. She led the change in California law so that if you steal less than $950 worth of merchandise, you are not prosecuted. And if you steal more than $950 worth of merchandise, you're also not prosecuted, frankly. You see these criminals going into a store? They go into a store with a calculator. Let's see, that's $10, $12. They want to keep it under $950. Can you imagine being able to steal $1,000 worth of stuff and you're not going to be prosecuted? She even lied to the American people about Joe Biden's cognitive abilities. A great disservice to the American people. It's a great, think of it. We had a man who was cognitively impaired dealing with Russia, China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, nuclear weapons all over the place. All of these countries. And she said, no, I found him to be fine. She didn't find him to be fine. She lied. She lied about McDonald's. She said she worked in McDonald's. She said she worked in McDonald's. Oh, she worked over the French fries. It was so hot. The heat, it was so hot. She'd burn her hand every once in a while on the grease. Oh, McDonald's. It was a lie. She never worked at McDonald's. And the fake news doesn't want to mention it. They had a big thing about her job at McDonald's, and they went there, and the manager's been there a long time. Other people have been there a long time, saying, no, she never worked here. Never worked here. She lied. That sounds simple, but that's really bad. It was a pure and simple lie. She never worked at McDonald's. And didn't Oprah ask her about her time at McDonald's? And she just sort of didn't want to answer that one. Let me not talk about that. Oprah said, you work at McDonald's. That's great. Oprah didn't hear the end result. She never worked there. So Kamala just sort of hid under the desk along with every other answer she gave. That's why less than 2 months from now, we are going to tell her that we've had enough, Kamala. We can't take it anymore. Kamala, you're the worst vice president in history. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. You're fired. Get out of here. So let's talk about our great women, all right? Because women have gone through a lot. They've gone through a lot. Women are poorer than they were 4 years ago, are less healthy than they were 4 years ago, are less safe on the streets than they were 4 years ago, are paying much higher prices for groceries and everything else than they were 4 years ago, are more stressed and depressed and unhappy than they were 4 years ago, and are less optimistic and confident in the future than they were just 4 years ago. I will fix all of that, women. I will fix all of that, and I will fix it fast. And at long last, this national nightmare that we're going through will be over. Women will be happy, healthy, confident, and free. You will no longer be thinking about abortion because it is now where it always had to be, with the states and with the vote of the people. The people are now voting, and many of those votes are far more liberal than we thought. But every legal scholar, every Republican and Democrat for years didn't want it in federal. They wanted it in the states and a vote of the people. And that's what's happening right now. And with the powerful exceptions like those that Ronald Reagan insisted on. Ronald Reagan insisted on the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother, but not allowing for Democrat-demanded late-term abortion in the 7th, 8th, and 9th month, or even execution of a baby after birth, which is what they want. I asked her about it during the debate, and she didn't want to answer it. I said, are you willing to have an abortion on a woman in the 9th month? And she didn't want to answer. The answer is yes. And think of it, even after birth. It's called execution. I will protect women at a level never seen before. They will finally be healthy, hopeful, safe, and secure. Their lives will be happy, beautiful, and their lives will be great again. So women, we love you. We're going to take care of you. Thank you. We're going to take care of you. It's where they've always wanted it. Everybody, every legal scholar in the country, that's where they wanted it. From the moment we take back the White House from Kamala Harris, I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Starting on day 1, I will seal the border and stop this horrible migrant invasion that is destroying our country. We will carry out the largest deportation operation of criminals in American history. We will end inflation and make America affordable again, and we will get your energy bills cut in half within 12 months. We will come, that's right, thank you. We will become energy independent and then energy dominant like no country has ever been before. Remember, again, we have more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia by a lot. We will open Anwar because, you know, Anwar, a lot of you know what Anwar is, the biggest site maybe in the world in Alaska. It took years, decades. Nobody could get it approved. Ronald Reagan failed. Everybody failed. I got it approved. In the first week, they closed it. The most dominant, the biggest, probably the biggest oil site anywhere in the world. We'll get it open very quickly, and we'll start producing tremendous amounts of oil and energy. We will stop the outsourcing and turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower. That includes automobiles, by the way. Other countries that make us pay a tax or a tariff to do business with them will be charged the same tax or tariff when they send their product into the United States. It will be called the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. It basically says that if China or any other country charges us 100 or 200% tax or tariff, then we will charge them a 100 or 200% tax or tariff in return. That message is very simple. Make your product here in the United States of America. You have absolutely no tariff to pay. It works beautifully, and it's going to bring business like you wouldn't believe. Nobody's been able to do it except me. We were doing it, and then we had to take care of COVID. Our gift from China, the China virus came in, and we did a great job. Never got credit like we did in the economy, the military. We defeated ISIS. But we're going to get that done fast, and you will have more jobs in North Carolina. You'll have more jobs in this country than we've ever had before. You already had it under my administration. My plan is that if you open your factory in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, or anywhere else in the U.S., you don't have to pay a tariff, but you move your production outside of the United States. You do it like they're doing it right now. Mexico is going to try and take over our car industry. Not if I were in there, but they did this during the last 4 years. Some of the biggest automobile manufacturing plants in the world are being built right now in Mexico as we sit here and listen. And we're not going to let it happen. They're not going to make millions of cars and send them they're going to pay a 200% tariff, which means they're not going to be able to send their cars in here. It'll be a big waste of money. I will not let Mexico, China, or any other country sell cars into the United States to the detriment of our auto workers. And that goes for Detroit. Detroit will be wiped out within 2 years. You watch. If I lose this election, two things you won't have. You won't have auto workers in this country, and Israel will be totally demolished. If I don't make it, if she runs it, Israel will be gone, and you won't have auto workers. The auto workers will be gone because all the electric cars are going to be made in China. I will end the insane electric vehicle mandate. And by the way, I love electric cars, and I have such respect for Elon. We love Elon, right? And he endorsed me. And what he makes is great. It's a great product. But he understands it's not going to be 100% of the cars. He's got a great product. You want people, if they want a gasoline-powered car, if they want a hybrid, they can have whatever they want. Maybe not hydrogen yet, as I said. This gets a little bit tricky. But they can have what they want. They can have electric. But that's the way it should be. It's got a strong market. It's got a great market, but it's not a market for everyone. We're going to have gasoline-powered cars because they go far, they're less expensive, and they take care of a lot of needs. When you drive up to Washington, D.C., or down to Washington, D.C., from wherever you are in the country, you're going to see, number one, a safe capital, a beautiful capital with no graffiti, with beautiful roads, with everything done. It looks like hell right now. It looks like hell. But you're going to be able to make it on a tank of gas, not 5 stops. You know, in the Midwest, they built 8 electric chargers. That's like a gasoline pump with electricity in it. They spent $9 billion under Biden for 8 chargers. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to make our auto manufacturing business stronger than it ever has been. We are going to bring back the manufacturing of automobiles. It affects you too, because you do certain aspects of it. But Michigan and, frankly, your sister, your brother, South Carolina. Do we love South Carolina? I think so. I think so. But they do a lot of car manufacturing, and they're going to be a big beneficiary of what we're doing. We're going to make cars the way we had it 40 or 50 years ago. We were dominant. We're going to be dominant again. They all want our market, but they don't want to make them here. They're going to all make them here. I will also protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts. They will not do it. They're putting migrants into the Social Security system. They're putting migrants into your Medicare system, and they're destroying it. We're going to take care of it. She will let illegal aliens plunder the benefits our seniors rely on and our seniors deserve, leaving North Carolina seniors in poverty and desperation. Remember, Trump was right about everything. They have a hat. It says, he's laughing, it's true. Trump was right about everything. Everything. They will destroy your Social Security, and I won't let them do it. Vote Trump for no taxpayer, think of it, no taxpayer benefits for illegal aliens. We can't do that. This is one of the reasons that they're coming in. They hear they're going to get all sorts of welfare benefits. They're taking over your schools. They're taking over your hospitals. Of course they're coming in. When they learn that that's not going to happen, they won't be coming any longer. I will stop the drugs and fentanyl pouring into the United States at levels never seen before, killing our kids and killing our families. It's killed over 320,000 children this year. Can you imagine that? Or Americans. And it's not even, if you had a war, you wouldn't lose that many people. 325,000 people killed by drugs that pour in through our southern border. And by the way, 4 years ago, we had the strongest border in the history of our country. Now we have the worst border in the history of the world. And she was the one that ran it. She doesn't want to take credit for it, but she was the one. We will protect all law enforcement, including Border Patrol, ICE, all of the sheriffs, and Secret Service. We're going to protect all of them. We're going to take care of our law enforcement. And we will terminate the Green New Scam and spend trillions and trillions of unspent dollars on roads and bridges and infrastructure and paying down our debt, and not fake infrastructure that has caused massive inflation and has been no benefit whatsoever to our country. We're going to have the cleanest water in the world, which we had 4 years ago, and we're going to have the cleanest air in the world. I will settle the war in Ukraine, and I will end the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III. We will have peace through strength. We don't have to have people dying. We will lead the world in space. Remember, I did Space Force. I did that. I rebuilt the military. I did a lot. But we have Space Force, first time in 79 years, since Air Force. First time, think of it, Space Force. And now we're leading in space over Russia and China. They were killing us when I took over, and now we're leading. But military, we're going to reach, and it's my plan. I'll talk to Elon. Elon, get those rocket ships going, because we want to reach Mars before the end of my term. We want to do it. And we want to have also great military protection in space, because that's where it's going to be at. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency, which we're losing right now. And if we lose that, it's like losing a war. And we're losing it as the world's reserve currency. This is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, and misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. We will stop the invasion and end migrant crime. We are going to totally stop this invasion. This invasion is destroying the fabric of our country. We're going to support our police, strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield around our country, keep critical race theory the hell out of our politics. We're going to end transgender insanity in our school. And we're going to keep men out of women's sports. I don't know if you watched the Olympics. Did you see the young Italian boxer, beautiful, beautiful young girl? And she was boxing a person who transitioned. We want to use that term. I'm very precise, because if I do wrong, he should resign. He used the wrong word. These people are sick, okay, the fake news. So, fighting a young person who transitioned to female. There were two of them allowed in Olympic boxing. And you know, a jab is not the hardest. It's like that, just to keep away, you know. So she's fighting him, and she's a little concerned. And he looked like Muhammad Ali would be afraid of him, I have to say. Oh, she looked like. She looked like Muhammad Ali, the one who transitioned. And she's doing left. So anyway, first punch was a little left jab, hit her in the face. The Italian go, oh. And the Italian go, went back to her corner. I never was hit like that. Then they said, try it again. Boom. Again, she went back and she quit. Shockingly, this person won the gold medal. Shockingly, the other person that transitioned into a female won the gold medal. So they both won gold medals. How demeaning is this to women? How demeaning is this to our country? How crazy is it? Think of it, open borders and men going into women's sports. It's so horrible. The things are so crazy that this could even be happening, that I even have to respond to saying we will no longer have open borders. I mean, think of, we built hundreds of miles of wall, and we also have 28,000 soldiers from Mexico as guards, because if they didn't do that, I said very nicely, we're going to put tariffs on your products coming in. Sir, we would love to do that. We would be honored to do that. So we had a lot of help from Mexico. They were great. But, they've made a fortune off of us, so it's one of those things. But all of these things that we did, they were making our country so strong. They were all given up by these people that have no clue what the hell they're doing. Our country will be dead if she gets elected. We won't even have a country. It won't be recognizable. We will defend the Second Amendment, protect religious liberty, restore free speech, and we will totally secure our elections for once. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris, and we must stop her country-destroying liberal agenda. It's not even her agenda, it's other people. You know that. It's other people, you know it. So get everyone you know and vote. We want a landslide that's too big to rig, okay? Too big to rig. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. That's the day we're going to save our country. That's the day we're going to save our economy, meaning November 5th and 2 months earlier, because you could go out and vote right now. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first, and we will take back our country, and our country will become bigger, better, stronger than ever, because together we will make America powerful again. Make America wealthy again. Make America healthy again. Make America strong again. We will make America proud again. Make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you, North Carolina. Go out and vote. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much.